Hey Jane Eyre fans, this is the fourth of my Jane Eyre related book reviews, and we're going to be reviewing Jane Eyre's Daughter by Elizabeth Newark, and Adele, Grace, and Celine, the Other Women of Jane Eyre, by Clara Moise. Her name has a hyphen, so I really can't pronounce it. We're going to start with Jane Eyre's Daughter. Jane Eyre's Daughter is obviously taken from the perspective of Jane and Edward's daughter, Janet. Janet is sent to live with Colonel Dent and his family after her family decides to go to the West Indies for a visit. So Jane and Edward only appear at the beginning and end of the book, which is kind of a downer. This book, it takes a little bit from Jane Austen as far as the way the Janet character acts. She's a little bit more like Lizzie Bennet than she is like Jane Eyre. She has a little bit of an Oedipus complex, which, although is normal for her character her age, I kind of didn't really like all that much, and kind of took away a little bit from the book in my opinion. So Jane Eyre's Daughter is kind of an iffy. In many ways it's good. The author did keep true to the original story, as she didn't change anything from the original book, which is definitely a plus in her favor. The story is interesting, and I read it all the way through, which is also a good thing in her favor. On the whole, I would recommend Jane Eyre's Daughter to any Jane Eyre fan, although I didn't absolutely like this book. I thought it was okay all around. It was, to me, just an okay novel. But I think other Charlotte Bronte fans will love this, so I would recommend it. It's got a lovely cover, so I suggest if you are going to get it, get the book version, not the Kindle version. That way you can get the lovely cover that goes with this book, as well as the lovely background cover. It's got an interesting kind of background here where you're at the back. Now for my next book review, Adele, Grace, and Celine, the Other Women of Jane Eyre. This was interesting. The entire book, almost from start to finish, is done in letters. This book is, like Thornfield Hall, a prequel, sequel, and during, because it basically what happens is Celine worries about her daughter Adele and decides to write to Grace Poole, which she heard Edward talking about at one time, and the two of them start a secret correspondence during the years. So it takes place both before, during, and after the original novel. And it also sometimes takes the perspective of Adele as well as Grace and Celine, because Adele is reading these letters years later. So the book is interesting in that regard. I think it's very well written, very similar to Bram Stoker's Dracula, in the way that we get most of the story from letters, which is interesting. But on the whole, I would give this book a, once again, okay review. I would recommend this to other Jane Eyre fans, although I myself thought the book was okay. I didn't think it was wonderful. I didn't think it was absolutely terrible either. It was alright. Kind of forgettable, to me at least. But I would suggest, if you are a fan of Jane Eyre, that you do read it, because it is a good read, and the way the writer had written the book was an interesting and creative way to take the story to a new level. So I would recommend this novel as well as this one. Now I have a question for the people watching these book reviews. Do you think I should review the Jane Eyre Chronicles, Death of a Schoolgirl, and Death of a Dowager, even though the third book in these chronicles has not come out yet, therefore I cannot do a review with them? Or do you think I should wait till the third book comes out and I've read it, so that way I can give you a review of all 3 books at once? Please leave a response in the comments section on which you would prefer me to do. Also, I'd like to give a shout out to a very interesting video blog I've been viewing on YouTube called The Autobiography of Jane Eyre. I will be providing the URL below in my description, so I really suggest you check it out. It is an amazing blog. The girl who plays Jane Eyre is a wonderful actress, and I really like how they modernized the story, so please check it out. It's really awesome. She got the idea from watching another video blog called the Lizzie Bennet Diaries. I've watched an episode or 2. I think it's really good, and I would also recommend that. I will also be providing the URL for that site as well. So I recommend you really look at both those video blogs. They're really, really good. They're excellent, so please check them out. This will be probably the last video I will do today, and I'll probably not do another one for at least a few more weeks to give you guys a chance to answer my questions, and also because I just ramble a lot in these movies, so I want to actually see if anyone's going to watch me rambling. So, have a good day, and happy Father's Day!